Hey guys, welcome back to Bait and Tackle. Today we are going to dust some molds, some swim baits. We are going to make a perch pattern, which consists of a gold head, 3 black stripes, and we're going to paint the fins black. So we are going to do some 6.1 inch epic studs. We are going to do a couple of the 6-inch AI, 5-inch AI, and 4-inch AI. We are also going to do a batch of the epic puds. So we are going to do a whole bunch of swim baits, and I'm going to do them all the same color. We're going to do perch. I've got 2 orders to go out that have to have some extra swim baits, and I'm going to do some perch pattern. And this takes a while. I've already got them all skin poured, so we are not going to show that portion of it. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the dusting process. We're going to do maybe a couple of different baits, dust a couple of them, and then I'll do the rest off camera, and then we will come back and I will pour all 3 layers. We are going to do some orange bellies on these baits. We're going to do a gold lateral line, and then we are going to continue and fill the rest up with a green. And I'm going to add a little bit more green to this. It has some highlight powder in it now, and it's like a light see-through green, a translucent green, but I want to make it a little bit darker on this shot. So I think I'm going to add some baby bass MF color to it, just to give it a little bit of a darkness. And we will make some pretty sweet looking swim baits. So here's the colors I'm going to use. This is the gold for up front on the top of the head, and here's the black powder we're going to use. So let me get you switched over here so you can see what I'm doing, and we'll start doing some dusting. Alright, we are going to get this going here. I have a light here. I don't know if it's going to cause havoc on the camera. It might put too much shine on here. No, I guess that'll be okay. So we're going to do these 4 molds here. And I'm just going to show you real quick what we're going to do. I got 2 brushes. I'm going to use one for the black and one for the gold. Again, we always start with the black. And these powder paints are Tecaroos, they're called, the brand. And I got them on Amazon, a 25 pack, all sorts of different colors. Very cheap. It was like 25, I think, 25 bucks, something like that. So it was like $1 a pack. And I gotta be honest, so far I'm very pleased with the product and how well it is, how well it dusts. And I put them in these little round containers. And I can't remember where I got that from. I want to say I got it from Michael's or AC Moore or something like that, like a craft store. So again, nothing fancy. We're just doing a... Let me try to move it up here a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. But I'm gonna show you after I do each color. Nothing fancy, but I'm just gonna do some black on the eye socket, of course, like I always do. I'm going to do black fin, and then I'm also going to hit the anal fin on this one. Some of these molds have the anal fins and some of them don't. Typically the epic bait molds have an anal fin. So there's our fins. This is the pud, and it has an anal fin back here, the regular fin, and it has the eye socket that I like to do black. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the lines, the stripes which I'm going to do kind of light. We're just going to do 3 here. 1, and like I said, a little bit. You don't need to go crazy, but I want to do 3 stripes, 3-stripe pattern, and they don't have to be perfect. As a matter of fact, I kind of like them to be uneven, and I don't want to say messy, but I like them to be different, because I think that kind of gives you a more natural look. So 3 stripes, anal fin and the side fin, the pectorals, and that's 1/2. So we're going to do that. Then we take the gold, the same company, same dusting material. And I know before in the past, I think I've used some eyeshadow color palettes, and those actually work pretty well too. But we're going to go ahead and do this gold here, and I'm going to try to get a majority of the head. And this may be the first time I'm using this actual gold. I know the ones I've used before, I think, were out of the eyeshadow color palette. So let's go ahead and dust this, get it dusted good. I think we're good. So again, gold around the head, eye sockets black, black stripes, black fins. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do 1/2 of each of these other ones, so I can show you the different styles. So first we'll do the other epic bait mold first. So I'm going to go ahead and do the black eye. And the bigger the mold, the bigger the workspace. So kind of fun to get a little bit more bigger workspace. The small ones are a little bit tougher to do. They just take a little time because they're so small. And I like doing the bigger ones because you just got a lot more room to work with. But I know, at least here and other places, a lot of people like to use smaller swim baits. I'm a big fan of both. I will use both. I think each size swim bait serves its purpose well. And then I usually blow out the excess dust if there's just a little bit extra there. Here's the anal fin on this one. And then we will go ahead and do the stripes, which on this one it's a little bit bigger of a mold, so I'm not going to be afraid to do some bigger stripes on this guy. There we go. So there's the stripes, and the fins, and the eye socket. Now we'll go over here, and we will do the gold. And this one has a fairly big head space, so I'm just going to trace around the gill plate. And the upper part is the part that's got some detail in it. And I apologize for the intro there. I totally forgot to turn my vent fan off to do the intro, and I probably should have. It gets pretty loud. But better to be safe than sorry. I wasn't really pouring any plastic at the time, but I was earlier doing the skin pours. So I just really forgot to turn it off. Okay. So there is the gold. So again, head gold, black fins, black stripes, easy peasy. So there's that style. Now on the AIs, they're a little bit different. The only thing that's different is they don't have the back anal fin. They have the eye socket. So we're going to go ahead and do the eye socket. And they got the fin, which this fin is a little bit different from the other one. It's got like a little, it's skinnier, it's curved. So all we have to do on these is just get the fin good. And I think I got it good. So now we're going to go ahead and do the stripes, which on this one I'm going to do up here. And this is a kind of a bigger swim bait, so I'm going to do some decent sized stripes, kind of as a perch. That one got a little dark down towards the bottom, but that's okay. And there we go. So, 3 stripes, the fin, and the eye socket. Then we're going to go ahead and do gold on the head. Which these ones are pretty simple. They've got a pretty defined headline. So I'm going to continue this, finish up the head real quick. Shouldn't take too long. Just making sure I got everything covered. Make sure I got the front of the head real good. And there we go. So now the head's covered. Head's got gold, eye socket's black, black fin, black stripes. So that is the AI, and that is a 6-inch, I believe. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these off camera. I just got a couple more halves to do real quick, and then I got a whole boatload over here of molds to go ahead and do. And I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to run them all at the same time, or if I'm going to have to do 2 different batches. I don't think I can fit them all on my hot plate. I'll have to see what we can do. It's going to be a little unique, I think. So let me get these done, and then I'm going to get all the rest of them done, and then we'll come back and we'll do some pouring. Well, they're not all going to fit on here, that's for sure. So I'm going to do all the big ones first. And I'm going to do the 5-inch AIs, the 6-inch AIs, and the Epic studs. I'm going to do those first. So I'm going to do all the big swim baits first. Okay, I clamp everything together so everything's nice and tight. It'll get real good heat. I'm going to start heating this up now. And I set it to about 200, a little over 200, like 225. And the first thing I'm going to do is get the orange heated up for the belly. And I'm going to go ahead and take this and cut it up into pieces. Hopefully I have enough plastic. I may have to make some more of the green, but we'll see, because I know that these are going to take a lot more in the upper portions of the molds. I might make the lateral line a little bit bigger just to cut down on some plastic, but I do like to cut this plastic up since it's reused. It's been sitting here. I mean, it's basically new, but it's been sitting here for a little bit. So reheating, I always make sure that I cut up my pucks, put a little bit of heat stabilizer in there, and heat it up and get it ready. So while the plastic is heating up, I am going to get everything going here. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, I forgot. I got to put the hook inserts in, and I haven't done that yet. So I'm gonna put the hook inserts in, and then I'll put these back exactly where they are, because I don't want to do it before it gets too hot. I forgot about them. I kind of figured I probably would. So let me grab the hook inserts, put them in, and then we'll resume. Okay guys, I got the fan on because I'm going to be pouring plastic, and I got all the hook inserts into each mold. Like I said, we're going to turn this on up to about 225. This is a ceramic hot plate, and we will do the big ones first, 5-inch AI, 6-inch AI, and Epic studs. And then the next ones we will do will be the Epic PUDs and the 4-inch AIs, because I just don't have enough room for them on this plate. I'm kind of toying with the notion, I wanted to get 6 of each kind of different swim bait, but I think that all that fits on there well. But I'm definitely going to look into getting 2 more PUDs and 2 more 4-inch AI swim baits molds if I can, and that way I have the ability to do 6. So got the orange plastic heated up. Just going to check temperature. I don't want to stir it up too much. I don't want too many air bubbles. It's at about 350. I'm going to use a butane torch to knock down some of the bubbles. Just going to go ahead and give it a little swirl here. And again, this is just for the belly, so we are only going to do a little bit in the bellies. We're going to be very careful. The AI4s are actually a lot harder to do because there's not really a lot of room to pour. Do the best we can here. Try to not get it on the sides of the mold so we don't get too much bleed off here. Some of these might have a little bit more plastic than others. That's okay. I know the Epics, the belly is a little bit bigger. We're going to go ahead and pour those in. Just enough to go around that. That'll be good. Just enough to go around that hook slot mold, or the hook slot in the bottom of the mold. Just enough to go around the ends. That's what I'm judging it by. Because I know that these Epics, they're a little bit bigger of a swim bait. They take a lot more plastic. And last one of the Epics, around that hook slot, and onto the 6s. Which these ones, I don't really care if it fills it up to the hook slot all the way or not, but I guess I will take it up to the hook slot. Same thing with the next 4. I'm making up some more orange for the small ones. There's not a lot left in here. Again, it's just a belly color. I probably have enough in that cup to do the small ones. So I wanted to be a little sparing. Like I said, the Epic ones have a deeper belly, so I'm going to kind of make up for that with a little bit of the gold in the middle. I think I'm going to go a little bit heavier on the gold in the middle. So we're gonna go ahead, we got the orange poured, we got the hot plate heating up. I'm now going to cut the gold up into pieces and get this, just get the gold cut up into pieces and get it into the cup so I can start heating it up. Put a little bit of stabilizer in there, which I think I'm running out of. I think I need to get some more heat stabilizer. We'll start heating that up now. About 3 minutes on. Come back after it's heated up. Molds are getting warm. Not quite sizzling yet, but I just want them warm enough to when I pour in the next couple. I'm going to pour in the next layer of the gold, and it'll bond better if it's at least warm. And then, like I said, at the end, I like to heat it up for about 10 minutes at probably around 250 to make sure that they're really sizzling on here. And then I know that they're going to make a real good bond. But I don't want to get too hot because I've had issues in the past. When it's too hot, the flake that's inside this will settle to the bottom if it's too hot. Keep that in mind when you're doing this. Okay guys, I went ahead and heated up the gold. It is where it needs to be. I am just gonna zap it real quick again. Get air bubbles off, give it a little shake here. Go ahead and pour the gold line. These ones are a little smaller, so I don't want to go too crazy on the gold, but I also don't want to get back too far. Side a little bit. These ones I'm going to pour from the end because it's so much bigger. This one I'm going to go ahead and take it up a pretty good chunk right over the top of the hook slot. There's a lot of room there to be filled, so those will have a pretty good sized gold. But again, these are 6-inch swimbaits. Eyes, which they're pretty good, fair amount in there. Let's go back on that tail, pretty good chunk. Same on these other two. Back a little bit farther than I wanted it to. That's okay. So make some custom swim baits, right? It's a little bit different, but that's okay. So pretty happy with that. Looks pretty good. Might be a little imperfection on one of these. I can see a little speck of a drop of orange down the side, but it's okay. Like I said, that's what makes them unique. So let's do a test. We're not at that point where we're sizzling yet, but we're hot. So I'm going to go ahead and heat up the green about 3 minutes 30 seconds. And we'll come back. Hopefully these will be set up enough, and we'll pour the last layer. Oh, and I need to add, like I said I was going to add, I'm going to add a little bit of baby bass It's a little bit of a darker green, kind of like a green pumpkin, a little bit lighter than that, I guess. It's a little bit different. It's not as dark. But we're going to add this baby bass to that green plastic to darken it up a little bit, just because it's a little translucent right now for my taste, and I would like to see it a little bit darker on this next quarter. So wait for that to come out, and then we will go ahead and add the final color. I just wanted to show you this real quick. I'm going to go ahead and add a couple drops of this baby bass. Put 10 drops in. Let's see how much that darkens this up. Not as much as I wanted it to. I'm going to go ahead and add just a little squirt. It's not really darkening it as much as I want to. I'm going to go ahead and put in two more squirts, and then I'm going to call it good, because I don't want it too dark, but at the same time I do want it darker than what it is. That may have been it right there. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's still got that shimmer to it, but now it's a little bit darker than more fluorescent greenish than it was. I think that was emerald green that I used on that before. So I'm going to go ahead and heat this up some more, just to make sure that everything took okay. And we may have to degas it a little bit. But I wanted to give it a little bit more darkness, because it just wasn't dark enough for me. Okay, I think this is ready. I'm just going to hit it with a butane torch real quick, give it a good stir. And yes, that's a lot darker than I had it before. It's a little warm. I think I'm just going to throw it in the degassing chamber real quick, just to get out a little bit of the bubbles, moisture that I added with the colorant. It's taking a fair amount out of there. I added a heat stabilizer to it too, so that will put in a little bit of moisture, a little bit of air. Again, we'll just hit this until I see some bigger bubbles, which I'm seeing now, and it's really not doing anything, so I think we're good. I just wanted to hit it to knock out some of the bubbles. That's all it was really for. Okay, so let's go ahead and get off of there, give us a little swirl, and we're ready to go. Now again, I'm not too worried about overpouring. It's just something that I've gotten used to. If I do overpour, it's not a big deal. I will go ahead and trim off the edges when we're done. That one didn't do too bad. See, I just spilled a little bit there. But again, I want it to run into the tail. Probably do what I normally do, which is hit the tops of these with the butane torch, just to make sure that the outside skin piece is nice and flush and it blends well with the actual color, with the layers that I'm pouring. Because I can see the outside of the skin pour on the top of the bait. When I hit it with the butane torch, it blends it in and gets the plastic connected real good, so I don't have any issues there where it comes apart. I don't want it to come apart. Okay. These ones, I'm going to pour from the ends. These are very skinny at the end. Hopefully they do what I want them to should have cut those back farther. There might be some air bubbles where those tails are. Again, not too concerned about overpouring on these, just because I can peel the plastic off afterwards. The tails are really thin together where the plastic is. So I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that I get enough in there. It's really slowing down. That one might be the only one that's going to have a perfect tail because it had enough clearance in between. Okay, and then on to the 6-inch AIs. These ones have a very wide channel, perfect for pouring. That one's good. Again, I may not have enough green here. I may have to make up a new batch of green to do the small ones. Let's see. Like I said, not too concerned about overpouring. I will take care of that when they come out of the molds. I'm definitely going to have to make more green, which is just emerald green with some green hyper shift and black flake, and then I put a little baby bass in it. So let's go ahead and do what I wanted to do here, which is heat the tops up real good, get that skin mold, the mesh. Pretty good job pouring that time. I think the skin molds are going to blend really well anyway, but just going to do up towards the heads. I think that's good. I'm going to go ahead and melt these tails down if I can a little bit, because there's just a little bit too much plastic there with the skin pull. Some of those were a little bit too much on the plastic, kind of mushed out a little bit on the tail portion right here where the skin pores stopped. So it's kind of squeezed it up out of the thing. I need to make a habit of trimming those back farther, so then that way I got a bigger channel when I'm pouring through there for the top layer. So we're sizzling. So we're gonna let that sit for about 10 minutes. Then we're gonna come back. Well, we're gonna wait. We're gonna do 10 minutes on this heat, and then we are going to let it. We're going to turn off the heat and let it settle for about 30 minutes, and then we'll come back and check these. They may still be pretty warm. I may have to wait an hour or so, but we're going to go ahead and let these set up for 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and take them off. So instead of being dumb about this, I'm going to go ahead and get these heated up on a different hot plate. These are the smaller ones, Epic Puds and the AI 4-inch. So I'm just going to do these 8 I've got left. I'm going to try and see if I've got enough plastic to make this work. I know I have a ton of gold, and I have enough orange probably to do the bellies, but I'm not sure if I have enough green to do these. We're going to try it. And if we don't, I've got some other green here that I think I can probably just heat up, and we could use that. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm heating up the orange now, which is probably almost ready. And it is. It's warmed up pretty good. See what the temperature is. I may have to let it sit for a minute. It's 370. So I'm going to let this sit for just a second. I'm going to get the gold ready to go, because I'm sure it's still a little bit warm. And that way we're not wasting all day here. Get that going for a couple minutes. But I'm just going to go ahead and knock down a few bubbles with this. It's been vacuumed already once, so it should be good to go. A couple small bubbles, no big deal. Give it a little stir, and then we'll go ahead and do it, because these are a lot smaller, so they're a little bit more precision when it comes to pouring. Smaller ones always are. I think these are the ones that I started with. It was the 4-inch when I first started hand pouring. And I already messed up because I hit the edge. That's okay. Just keep going. Sometimes these cheap Pyrex cups don't really do it justice. So I'm going to do the rest of them here. I'm going to do the same thing just like what I did with the other hot plate molds. Just going to heat it up until they start to sizzle. Which on this hot plate might be a little bit more heat. Okay, go ahead and do the epics, which again, you just wanted to get it around the hook slot, not as full. You don't cover the whole hook slot on these. You want to get it so that it goes down around the hook slot is the intent. For all 4 of these. I put a little bit too much in that one. There's the orange. Okay, so the orange is poured. I can take a little X-Acto, try to get this. Let's see how it's already trying to. Trying to get the orange out of there, but I think I'm just going to leave it alone because it's just going to end up messing it up worse. But through the spit test, nothing yet. The gold is getting heated up now. I think we're almost there in the gold. Yeah, it's hot. Didn't take much. I'm going to let this gold chill for a few minutes, knock down some of the air bubbles a little bit. It sits there. I'm going to keep it in the microwave, give it a minute, and then we'll come back and we'll pour the gold. Alright, let's just heat up this gold one more time real quick before we pour the next ones on. Not quite there on the heat yet, but I think we're close. So here's the gold plastic coming out now. $3.50. Kind of perfect. I just got to knock off some air bubbles, and here we go. This is the layer. It's pretty tough. You want to make sure you get enough in, but not too much to do the final with the tail. And it's very hard. pour in these skinny little cavities. So if you're a first time pourer, I would say if you're going to buy a mold, definitely go for one of the bigger ones if you're first starting out. And that way you won't have to fight to get your layers in there the way you want it to. Now these ones are a lot easier because you can just fill it up to the top of the hook slot. So they are different when it comes to like AI and Epic. I know there's some other ones out there too, but these are the main two. And like what I said, the hook slot's a little higher up. Okay, there's our gold. So I'm going to go ahead and get the green heated up, which won't take long. And we're still not quite there on the sizzle test yet, but we're getting close. Okay guys, the last color, green, is heating up. Hopefully, I've got enough plastic to do this, because I don't know if I do or not. But I think it's not quite sizzling yet. I'm just going to keep stepping the hot plate up until we get to that point. I think we're good now on the heat with the green. So we're going to go ahead and pour the last layer. And again, I don't really care if these over pour that much, because I will trim them up. I think we might actually have enough plastic here, guys. Maybe. These don't really take a lot. But the Epics are the ones that are going to be... This is going to be the interesting one. One. Two. I think we're gonna make it. Let's see. Really close. Oh yeah, we made it, and I overpoured that last one just a little bit too much. But again, I'll take the heat, butane, and just get the layers bonded on the top. I'm just going to throw a little bit extra in this one because it's a little bit. There we go. Let's bring it out with the other ones. Come on. There we go. The tails, because that plastic kind of sits up a little bit. Just got to make sure that that's bonded well. I think that'll do it. So again, we'll let these cook. Let's see. Yep, we're sizzling. So I'm going to let that sit for a few minutes. I'm going to even back it off just a hair. I'm going to go ahead and set it just to like 7 minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and take these off when the 7 minutes is up. I want them to really cook and bond together well. Okay, so I cleaned up some of the molds. Some of them I still have to clean up, a little bit of the extra plastic that I poured, but I think they came out pretty decent. We'll actually demold. I've got 2 here right now that are ready to go. A little bit of an air pocket in that big tail there because of that skinny channel I was talking about in the tail. But other than that, they came out great. Gold works real well. That green, I liked how I darkened it up a little bit. These ones have a little bit thicker of a gold lateral line, which I kind of like, with that orange belly. But what a beautiful bait. Came out awesome. So let me demold a bunch more of these, and they got to go into the water bath for a little while just to cool down, get the plastic to set a little bit more, get it to calm down a little bit. Here's one of the AI. Here's one of the AI swim baits. I think this is a 5. That came out really well too. I like that. Came out great. So again, I'm going to demold all these. Let me do, that was an AI. Let me do one of these PUDs, just so you can see what these come out like, because I think these are going to be pretty cool too. Oh yeah. God, I love this bait. Love it. Absolutely love it. But just like the big ones, a little bit smaller. This is a 3.5. But man, came out so good. So I'll take some pictures of these, do some nice shots of the baits. You'll probably see it in the beginning of the video. But I love it. I absolutely love these baits. So let me demold the rest of these, get them in the water, and then after they get done cooling down in the water, we will dry them off, let them sit for a little bit, and then I'll come back and we'll put some eyes on them. I picked out a green gold color for all of them, all the different sizes. So we're going to put that color eye on, and then I'll come back and, like I said, we'll put the eyes on. I'll show you putting the eyes on, a little bit of that process, and then you'll get to see the finished product. Okay, so all the baits are out of the water bath. We're going to go ahead and put some eyes on, and I believe the way it is I think it's 6mm eyes for the 4-inch and the 3.5, and then I think it's 8 for the 5-inch, and then I believe it's 10s for the studs, the Epic studs, and I believe it's 10 for the 6-inch AI molds as well. So we're just going to start. I'm just going to go ahead and put a few eyeballs on, just like one of each, so then that way you can see what they look like with the eyeballs on. And then I'm going to just do the rest of them off camera, then that way we're not wasting too much time here. But let's just go ahead and take one of these. I'll just put a little dab of glue. Just put a little dot there. And then I take it with an X-Acto knife, and I like to make the pointed part of the eye go backwards. So there's a nice little green eye. Nice little green eye on that nice bait right there. Pretty awesome. So we'll go ahead and flip it over. Do the other side. Just a dot. Make sure the point, I like to make the point to the back. You can do it however you want, however you like your eyes. And then there it is. And we'll go ahead and take one of these Epic puds. Do the same thing. I will say that I do like the eye sockets on the AI swim baits just a little bit better, just because they're a little bit deeper of an eye socket. But there's that one, so you guys can see that. There you go. Nice green eyeball on that perch bait. And we'll go ahead and do the other side. Then I'm just going to go ahead and do some of these other ones. This is the 8mm eye, same colors. If I can get the eyeballs out of the bag. Sometimes they like to stick. So here's the 8-inch, or the 8mm. Same thing. Dot in the middle. I like to put the point of the eye towards back. Drop it right in that eye socket. And there it is. Pretty nice. So we'll go ahead and do the other side. I kind of use the blade just as a guide to get the eyes in there. So let's go ahead and get out the 10mm. And we'll put one on the big 6-inch AI. And then I'm also going to put some on the some big eyes go on the Epic stud mold as well, the Epic stud bait. So I'm just going to put a little bit more glue on there, a little dab. Like I said, I like to put the eye in there with the point towards the back. It's down in the socket real good. And there's the gigantic 6-inch. So we'll go ahead and do the other side. And there we go. So that one's all set. So it doesn't take long, it just to put the eyeballs on. I think dusting the mold, or dusting the skin pores are probably the most time consuming thing. So again, big dot of glue. This is the 10-inch as well. Just get it on the knife here so we don't have an accident, and then just gently put it on the bait. There you go. There's the Epic stud. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw one more eyeball on the other side of this one. And then, like I said, off camera, I will put the rest of the eyeballs on. And there we go. So like I said, off camera, I will go ahead and put the rest of the eyeballs on, the rest of the baits. So I will be back when they're all done. Well, there you go, guys. That's the finished product. We got the Epic stud. We got the 6-inch AI, the big ones. Those came out pretty good. Came out pretty decent. Then we got, I did 4 of each. That's all the molds I have. We did a 5-inch AI. We did a 4-inch AI. Both came out pretty good. And then we did the Epic Pud, the 3.5-inch Epic Pud. That came out really good too. But really enjoyed doing this perch pattern. I'm going to take some pictures, probably lay some of these sideways, just so then that way you can see them. And that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. And I'm going to work on some different content for you next time. I think I'm kind of burnt out on pouring swim baits right now, so I think I'll probably end up doing something a little different next time. I think I've got something planned that might be pretty cool. It's going to be a little different. So, but I just wanted to turn these sideways, show you guys, see if you could see them all. But they came out pretty good. I'm very impressed. The molds, again, I love AI molds. I love Epic Bait molds. I like them both equally. I don't promote anybody. I don't get any kind of kickback or anything from either company. It's not like that at all. I just happen to just love these molds. And you know, dusting is fantastic, but it just takes a lot of time. A lot of effort. And I've had this discussion with a couple of my buddies, and it just, you can't really make enough money because people want to buy these things so cheap. And it's just there's no real room to make money on these. The detail and everything that you put into them and the time it takes to put into them, it just isn't really worth it. But I love to do it, so I'm going to continue doing it. I'm just a little burnt out on these for right now, so I think I'm going to start doing some more lead pouring products and probably get ready for summer and spring and fall, and, like, you know, just start making worms and Ned baits and smaller swim baits that we can do, and some craws, and I've got all sorts of stuff for the river, like Helgermites and stuff like that. So we'll probably start doing a lot of that, and I want to use some of those new colors that I got recently that I posted on Instagram. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. We made some perch pattern dusted swim baits. We did a couple different Epic bait mold swim baits, and we did a couple of the AI angling molds. So again, you know, making these baits, it's very time consuming, but you can make some really cool things. It's very artistic. I like to do this kind of stuff. You know, I'm more in it for making different things for myself, and the more arts and crafts kind of thing, just using your artistic ability to try to make some different things. And I really enjoy making these. I will take a break from making these probably for a while. I want to concentrate on doing some more lead products for you guys. I also want to do some like worms and craws and Ned baits and that kind of stuff, some creature baits. I've got a whole bunch of different molds I want to show you guys. Maybe we'll do some injection, a lot more injection. I want to do some more injection videos. So those are going to be coming down the pike. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. We are getting close. I'd like to get to 1,000 maybe by the end of this year if I can. Please help me support this channel. I would really like to do this more if I had more time. And right now I just don't have time with work. So thank you guys for watching again. And remember, keep on baiting.